And welcome back to the Small Business Show on 2RRR 88.5 FM. Now, if you would like to know about values and money and how, the way that you look after your values and that sort of thing may change the way that occurs, then we are now about to speak to the Managing Director of Ashley Coaching and Consulting, Stacey Ashley, who founded this in 2005 when she realised that she had a passion and expertise for developing people and realising their potential. Now, she is an amazing lady. She's a member of lots of different places. She's also a certified trainer and partners with Open Door Coaching Group. She has also been nominated for Telstra Business Women's Award. And I'm very excited that Stacey is now a guest on the Small Business Show. So welcome, Stacey.
Thank you so much, Hazel.
So now, firstly, I guess, why did you start your business?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I do get asked it a lot. I think for me, it was really realising that I could do so much more from outside an organisation rather than being sort of a cog in the wheel, which was great while it lasted, but I really felt that I had so much more to offer and I could really make or help others to sort of create a lot more opportunities for themselves, and so that's really what led me down that path.
Okay, all right. Well, it's great to start a business, with the knowledge that you want to help others. And I guess that leads into my next question, which is about your values. And I guess how you found your values out and how others can look really deep into themselves to find out what their actual values are.
Yeah, it's something that we probably don't do enough. I mean, values, really simply, it's just what's important to me. And so sometimes it's kind of good to take a step back and just reflect on it and really think about it. So what is important to me? How did I get where I am and how do I want to get to my future place and be comfortable and happy there? So just taking a few minutes every maybe 6 months to discover that. And so for me, that process actually happened because I was working in an organisation that was trying to become a values-based organisation, and it really set me on the path of thinking about it for myself. And part of that discovery was when I realised what was important to me, it became clear that it was actually time to leave the organisation, although I loved it, and actually go and do the stuff that was about why I'm here and helping others. And so it really just helps you frame up your life and the decisions that you make. And so if anyone wants to sort of really discover what's important to them, it's just as simple as asking yourself that question. So it could be, what's important to me about my family life, or what's important to me about my work. And we can have slightly different values depending on the context, but you'll see some core themes that come through. And just understanding that really just gives us information to work with when we're making some of those bigger decisions.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, it's very important for people to look at that because that also establishes where they will be in business and whether they, their values are that they would prefer to work in a business where they can just completely and utterly service people, or, they'd rather sit in the background and, help someone else do that.
Absolutely.
So now, if you take your values into I guess the financial section, and we talk about money and finance, how do values make this sort of change or resonate themselves through to suit individuals? Yeah,
that's a really great area to look at. One of the things that is important to understand is, in terms of your values and what's important to you, where does money sit? Where does finance and financial security and risk and all of those things sit for you? So is it the most important thing, or are there other things that are, in fact, more important to you than that? And maybe it is about, building great relationships with your clients, or maybe it's about doing work that you love, or maybe it's about surrounding yourself with a fantastic team. And so understanding where that financial piece sits in relation to other things can then help you to make really great choices and decisions about what you do, how you spend your time, how you guarantee that, or you make those decisions to make sure that wherever that finance piece sits in terms of how important it is to you, you're actually supporting it. And so let me give you an example from me from a couple of years ago. I was sort of at a tipping point in my business, and I just needed to get a little bit more income for it to be a bit more sustainable. And so I decided that I would take on a particular client project, even though it wasn't the most preferred type of work that I like to do. But what actually happened was, although I had the income, I really wasn't enjoying myself. And so ultimately I didn't feel very good about going to the client every day. And although I was delivering what I needed to, it just wasn't working for me. And in the end, I actually decided that, after a conversation with the client, I would get somebody else to come in and do that piece of work and support them, because it just really didn't sit very well. So although I'd met the financial stuff, it wasn't working, and it became clear to me that it was far more important about the type of work I do, the relationship I have with my client, than the money. And so understanding that can really support you making great choices for yourself.
Yeah, and I think you're right. And I think all business owners at some point, or even in your own life, but let's take business for a second. I mean, at some point in your business, you will come up against a client, for example, that doesn't fit, like you said, or you don't feel comfortable, or you feel like maybe you're not giving them the best that you could anymore. And, it comes across in everything you do then. So it's very important that you tell them and speak to them.
Absolutely.
Now, one of the words that you brought up in that little discussion was risk. Now, to me, that's a big thing for small business. And there's a lot of people that look at risk as being something that they just don't know how to manage. What would you say small business owners feel is their biggest risk, or things that they need to look at? And how would they handle them?
Yeah, look, great question, and I'm not sure that I've got all the answers there. No. And I think it depends a little bit on the type of business you're in, but the types of risks are going to be things like, how do I actually continue to support myself? So am I at risk, individually as a person, burning out or trying to stretch myself too thin because I've got to make this business work, and am I making sure that I'm actually having the lifestyle that I need, as well as this great business that I want to have? So that would be one area of risk. Another one, obviously financially, can I make enough money? Is my income at the right level to support the cost base of the business? How do I feel about having debt in my business? And then what kind of exposures do I have around the types of services that I offer, and how can I protect myself against those? So, are there any risks in terms of clients using products or services inappropriately, or all those sorts of things? So there's just, as you know, a really big range of potential areas of risk. And coming back to the values piece, understanding what you're comfortable with and what your values are around risk and what's supportable for you is really important, because then you can take the steps to manage it to a level that you're comfortable with.
That's right. And if you ignore your values and you just keep going in the way that you think you need to go, then that's obviously a big factor too, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you really open yourself up. When you ignore your values, and whether it's around risk or your financial position overall and those sorts of things, you can create the potential to cause yourself, anxiety and concern and stress and all those sorts of things, or even just that general kind of uncomfortable feeling, something's not right here, I can't put my finger on it. So if you're really clear about your values, then, you can support yourself, and you can be quite sort of congruent in terms of what your values are and then what actions you take.
Okay. And so, a few people that have got their own business, for example, work with their partners or maybe close friends. And what happens if there's different values?
Yeah.
Like, you might have married your husband, for example, because you loved this part of it, but when you actually work together, and I'm not actually looking at anybody in particular, although I do know if there's quite a few husband and wife teams that I know of. But let's just say that, for example, when you go home, everything's fine, but when you come to work, things are not necessarily, working the same way because you see something different in that sphere. How do you handle that?
Yeah, really interesting. So I would say it firstly very, very carefully. That's the first thing I would say. I think, look, the first thing to recognise is everybody has their own values. There are no two people that could you say my values are identical to somebody else's, because they're coloured by so many things. You know, your background, your the way that you were raised, your education, your skills. You know, all the experiences that you have in life. So we have a whole different set of sort of filters and information that lead to us creating what's important to us, our values. And so I think the first thing in any kind of sort of partnership is to actually recognise that I have my set of values and these are what they are, and you have your set of values and these are what they are, and just to understand that they may be different, and that's okay. But if we can talk about it and we can have great conversations about, you know, what that means for us in terms of working together or making decisions together, then, you know, you've got so much more optimised chance of coming out with a great outcome than I just make a decision and you don't like it because it doesn't work for you. So the first step is just to acknowledge that we have different values and what that might mean for us, and then to be, you know, open to having a conversation. Okay, so in that situation, how will we manage that together?
Yeah. No, that sounds good. I think people need to know that they're not on their own as well, that this happens to other people.
Yeah, and look, it does happen a lot. And, you know, it creates, there is the potential for conflict, but I think if we can just sort of start from that kind of base understanding and then having the conversation, and then maybe even having a conversation between us, which is, okay, we have different values, but when we're working together, what are the things that are important to us in terms of that relationship? So actually, you know, understanding what our joint values are when we're working together in that relationship.
Okay. All right. Now, as a small business owner from one to another, can you give the listeners, like, aside from the ones that you've already given us, which are amazing tips, but just one tip that you have learned over time or whatever, which may help them?
Around values, you mean? Or
around values, or just generally in business?
I think that, just speaking from my own experience, a couple of things that I've really learned is that, you know, ask for help when you need it. You know, most people love to help. They love to be asked to help you. You know, so really create opportunities to support yourself by letting other people know that their help would be great, even if it's just for them to be, you know, a friendly ear sometimes.
Yep. No, I think that's great because, you know, for example, you know, somebody this morning, and I won't say who, but I know she's listening, I did something on Facebook and she came to me and said, you know, could you recreate this for me?
Yeah.
And how much will you charge?
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not going to charge you anything because I know that, you know, you will then help me further down the track. And I don't want anything for it. I'll just do it, you know. And sometimes you need to give. And I think in business people tend to hold back sometimes. And I just think, well, if somebody asks for help, you help them. That's just
definitely. And I think there are so many people out there who have something to offer. And like I said, in my experience, I've been, you know, incredibly lucky that there have been so many people who've said, yeah, I'd love to do that, you know, for you, or to help you out with that, or to give you some ideas. And I think, you know, just utilise that. There's no harm in asking. Yeah,
well, there's no harm at all. Now, I ask everybody what their favourite quote is. Now, I hope you've got a good one, but maybe not too long, because I'm giving away a book based on your quote, which is "The Rich Get Richer and the Poor Can Too" by Stacey Curry. So I've held off giving it away until I've got a Stacey. So it works in really well. But I've told everyone they have to be able to tell me what your quote is.
Right.
So
I would say that happiness is not a destination.
Okay.
It's the journey.
Oh, I like that. Is that yours?
No, I've kind of borrowed it and tweaked it a bit.
Okay, so happiness is not a destination, it's the journey. Is that right? Did I get it right?
That's right.
Oh, see, that's really good. I like that. I love this. It's amazing just how many wonderful quotes are out there that I've never even heard of.
Yeah,
so it's really
beautiful.
quite exciting to hear some wonderful quotes.